For the first time since 2002, the New York Liberty are back in the WNBA Finals. The Liberty secured their spot as one of the final two teams standing in the postseason with an 87-84 win over the Connecticut Sun in Game 4 of their semifinal series. So let's talk some Liberty hoops, and we're going to do it with WNBA content creator for Her Hoop Stats and Enjoy Basketball. That is Karina Mustafa. Karina, haven't seen you in a while. How you doing?
I'm doing well. And kind of a fun fact too, since 2002, I was actually born in that year. So the Liberty haven't made the finals since I was born. So yeah.
Wow.
Just thought you might enjoy that.
I do enjoy that. That's 21 years. You gave your age away there. I'm not going to say my age, but I'll just say that makes me feel a little bit old, just a little bit. I will say that. All right, let's get into the talk about this game and the Liberty. You can't talk about this Game 4 victory without talking about Jonquel Jones. She's been a double-double machine since the All-Star break, Karina, this season, and she posted another one on Sunday against her former team. How good was Jones in Game 4, and how key is she to the Liberty trying to capture their first ever title?
Jonquel Jones has been instrumental to New York Liberty's success this postseason. We talked about her being an X factor in their first round series against the Mystics, and it was a lot of key possessions from her that won them that series. And the same kind of happened with her against Connecticut in the semifinals. We talk about her double doubles, but it's really crucial to understand what goes into those stats. On the offensive side, she's gotten really comfortable kind of just muscling her way out of doubles and getting the ball in the basket and just kind of using her size there. But she can also knock down the three from any point, so that makes her a real offensive threat from literally anywhere on the court. And then on the defensive side, she stays on her man. She absolutely crushes the glass, and no matter how many players are around her, her presence is always going to be felt, and it's going to be very much needed against a dominant Aces team in the WNBA Finals.
Absolutely going to be needed in the W Finals. We'll see how Jones does there. And Karina, things got tight for the Liberty in the second half of that Game 4, particularly in the fourth quarter. But head coach Sandy Brondello, she played her starters the entire second half. What did you think of that decision? And were you impressed with the ability of the starters to respond and execute down the stretch?
I think it's interesting because had they not been able to close it out, we would be having a very different conversation. But all that being said, I think it was important. I mean, during the playoffs, coaches play a very tight rotation anyway. And so I think we've seen really great contributions from the Liberty bench, including someone like Kayla Thornton. But all that being said, it does come back to the starters. When you have things happening like your MVP and Stewie kind of struggling throughout the playoffs, or when the starters kind of start to take their foot off the pedal for a little bit and things just aren't going their way, I think it's important to have them figure that out together out on the floor, because it really is that chemistry and just kind of figuring out how to play better together when you're not always comfortable. And that's going to be a very key factor in their next matchup against the Aces. So I think ultimately the decision was good because they ended up winning, but not only that, but just in terms of figuring out how to work together when things kind of get tough on the floor.
Yeah, it got a little uncomfortable there late in the fourth quarter. Saw Connecticut cut it a couple times, make it really close, had a one-point game, but the Liberty were able to pull it out and advance, which is all that matters at the end of the day. So now, Karina, the Liberty, they're going to battle, you mentioned this, the defending champion Las Vegas Aces in the finals. We've got till the 8th of October to dissect and analyze this matchup, but do you believe that this Liberty team has what it takes to reach the mountaintop, and what are the keys to them getting it done and capturing that first ever WNBA title?
Yeah, well, firstly, you mentioned we have until the 8th of October. I mean, the Liberty sure are happy that they closed it out on Sunday because the Aces have had a lot of rest with how their playoffs have gone so far. But yeah, I mean, if you look at the regular season or even the month of August, if that was any indicator, I think this is going to be a very entertaining series. Do I have a little bit more confidence in the Aces right now? Yes, a little bit. Like I said, they've had more rest and a somewhat easier path to the finals. However, I think, the Liberty battling a team like the Sun, who is very much a contender, it was good practice for them to go up against a really tough team, and they're going to have to crash the glass. They're going to have to make the extra pass. Zone isn't really going to work against the Aces because they have a lot of people that can shoot and just kind of score from anywhere. They're going to have to throw multiple bodies at Asia, and I think the biggest thing that the Liberty are going to have to do if they want to have a chance against beating the Aces in the finals is they're going to have to disrupt the passing. The Aces offense is really good. When you have somebody like Chelsea Gray kind of leading everything and making these really unbelievable passes that can just kind of happen really quickly and out of nowhere, the Liberty are going to have to try to disrupt that. And I think that on the defensive side of the floor is going to be super important for them. In one of their wins against the Aces this season, that was what they did best. They disrupted the Aces passing and they were able to get the win. So yeah, that's that's what I'm going to be watching for the Liberty to do.
All right, we'll see if they can disrupt those passes. The WNBA Finals that will start on October 8th. As we mentioned, it's the New York Liberty versus the Las Vegas Aces, who are the defending champions. I'll have my eye on that. So will Karina Mustafa, the great WNBA content creator, for her hoop stats and Enjoy Basketball. Karina, good to talk some Liberty hoops with you. We'll talk again soon.
Thanks, Dexter.